why Mexican and Italians get along is because we're both under 5'8". You hear about this new Somali hat store that opened up in Minneapolis? Everything is 50% off. The Minnesota Vikings have now changed their name to the Somali Pirates. They do have a problem. None of the helmets fit. I gotta see if I can sit down.
Can you get up there, Rocky?
Yeah, I'm good. I don't need a ladder. So you know, Italians are big hand talkers. Pixie broke her wrist a couple of years ago, and she developed a speech impediment. She just stood there going, You know, we have the greatest innovation for Italians has been the stemless wine glass. I can't tell you how much money we've saved on wine glasses since they developed those stemless ones. We're not knocking wine glasses off the table anymore. You know, as an Italian kid growing up, my lunchbox had things in it the other kids didn't have. I had linen napkins, I had a little wine glass, I had silverware, but most importantly, I had 6 extra meatball sandwiches to sell to the Jewish kids. I'm in Publix, and this guy hears me talking. He hears my New York accent. He comes running over to me and he says, "Hey, do that New York accent. I want coffee. Let's go talk somewhere." I said, "Listen, can you sing for me some Merry Christmas song? Maybe fa ra 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 ra?" You know you're Italian when you use that rubber band from the Broccoli Rob as your wallet? I needed a new wallet. I mentioned it to my grandfather. He threw 20 rubber bands on the table and he said, "Pick it the color you like." I've been around 6 generations of Italian women, and I can tell you they talk incessantly. They go and go and go. Can't get a word in edgewise. Which leads me to the conclusion that they must breathe through their ears. And that blows out of the water that whole argument of, I'm not sucking that because I can't breathe. My wife accuses me of being very, very forgetful, and I have to admit, I do forget a lot of shit. I think I have Italian Alzheimer's. I basically forget everything but the grudges. You know, growing up in Brooklyn, Italian and Jewish neighborhoods were very adjacent, so you build friendships outside your own community. My friends were Ira and Heshy. And Italians have a patron saint for everything. Like we pray to St. Anthony when we lose something, right? So even in the afterlife, we got a guy. My friend Heshy, he has a goy. You know, maternal guilt is something that both cultures are famous for. Italian mothers and grandmothers will guilt you into showing up on Sunday for dinner. It's okay, I just have my hand over the antenna. But Jewish mothers, they use guilt as their artistic medium. They work in this like artists work in oils. You know, and Ira Heshy would say to me, "Jesus Christ, you're stressing over meatballs? I have to go to medical school. That's 12 years of my life just to keep my mom happy." We started our college careers by going to Baruch College in New York City. We were going to become accountants. My parents were absolutely overjoyed. Theirs were very disappointed. So we walk into our first accounting class, and there's 40 kids. There's only 6 not wearing yarmulkes, me and 5 girls. You know, I show up, and I'm an Italian guy, I wear those velour sweatsuits, got a little Italian flag on the chest. And I walk in and they all got their yarmulkes and they're all looking at me in my Italian sweatsuit. But I had no yarmulke. My friends surprised me after that class. They bought me a red, white, and green yarmulke that had Rocky embroidered on it. It was very cool. So, you know, we have meatballs, we got mozzarella balls, we got rice balls. Heshy counters with the matzo ball. Do you know how matzo balls are made? They're made with unleavened flour, guilt, and schmaltz. I don't know what schmaltz is. I don't know that I want to eat anything that's got schmaltz in it. They share corned beef. They share corned beef with the Irish. They share brisket with the rednecks. And now they share a strip of land where everybody wants to kill them. But Italians and Jews, we don't start shit, but we do know how to finish it. Anybody in the market for a slightly used pager? I like that one too. So the boys would come over on the holidays, they'd eat like they were going to the chair in the morning. And my nonna would say, these are guys, they know got food at home. Antipasto with 14 different kinds of salami and pork products, a dozen different kinds of cheeses. But my boy Ira couldn't eat because he's got lactose intolerance. On Christmas Eve, we do the Feast of the Seven Fishes. It's usually more than 7. And so I invite the boys over, and they know not to come to an Italian house with empty hands. So Heshy walks in with a jar of gefilte fish. He called it fish number 8, the Kobe Bryant of fish. So I'll leave you with this. Anybody know what the moils do with all those foreskins? Well, first, do you know what a moil is? Okay, it's the guy that does the circumcisions. You know what he does with all those foreskins? I think as kids we found it in our Topps baseball cards. Very chewy. That's my time, kids. Let's hear it for your host, Tony G.
Keep it going for Uncle Rocky, the man.